I once went to a quiz where the question was, how many funerals were there on the Titanic? And we had no idea, so we just put 0. And it turned out that he'd misread the question, and it was how many funnels were there on the Titanic. So, yeah. Hello and welcome to QIXS, an extra small look behind the scenes at a recent episode of QI. Today we will be looking at Quizmas, along with Piers Fletcher, also known as Flash, the producer of QI, and Anne Miller, who is one of our senior writers. Flash, you were also the curator of this episode.
I was a twofer on this one, yeah.
Did you get extra money for that?
No, got less.
Oh. So let's explain what a curator is.
Well, we don't really have writers because, as you know, it's an improvised show, and so the curator is responsible, and it's the curator's fault if it goes wrong.
Or it's the producer's fault. So in this case...
Either way.
So what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the questions that we did in the show. We might give you some questions that didn't quite make it because we ran out of time, and we'll give you some of the material that we found as researchers which never made it onto the show.
There's a really nice bit I love in the show, which is the section where it's all questions taken from songs. So like, how much is that doggy in the window?
Why do birds suddenly appear? The questions sound gormless, but actually there's
something clever with the answer
that you can say about it.
I think the panellists said that you never really see like baby pigeons.
People also say that we never see dead pigeons, though, don't they?
Yeah.
What's the reason
I
behind
think that's because when birds are sick, they tend to take themselves away somewhere quiet, so out of the way, so they wouldn't like nip down Trafalgar Square. They'd go under a hedge or.
Because I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. I feel much happier in a hedge than in Trafalgar Square.
Is this the real life? Is it just fantasy? Question.
That's a really good
You
one.
could work with that one, because that idea that someone's got that we're all actually living in a matrix thing.
Parallel universe theory.
Yeah.
I think it's a rather unsettling speculation, because every time I nearly have a car crash, which is quite frequently, and I come out of it, as you can see, I've survived, but I always think, there's probably a million universes in which I didn't survive that right now, and then how are people coping? One of the songs that we looked at but actually didn't run in the end was Cry Me a River, and whether it's possible to cry a river.
It depends on the definition of river, really.
I've seen a Tom Scott video about the world's smallest river, and it was still a decent size.
Yeah, that's the thing. Someone's worked out that if you took 55 tears from everybody on Earth, you could fill a swimming pool. There's been a lot of sadness, which we're trying to cut through. Whenever we're making the show, of course, there's a lot of material we've thought about or prepared that doesn't necessarily make it onto either onto the screen or necessarily even into the studio. And one of these questions that Alan came up with years ago that we thought was interesting was, do fruit flies get the common cold?
Never seen one sneeze.
Do flies have noses?
I don't think they do.
They have a proboscis.
They do, but that's for tasting rather than for... Sorry, what was that, Alex?
They don't have noses, they smell using their antennae.
So the joke is, my fly has no nose. How does it smell? With its antennae.
That's bad, because butterflies taste with their feet.
My butterfly has no tongue. How does it taste? With its feet.
With its feet.
I think the QI joke book is not going to be a bestseller. Actually, we have one fact here about flies, which Jack found, one of our elves, which is that the fruit fly Drosophila bifurca's sperm is 2.3 inches long. And if a 6-foot man had the same proportions, his sperm would be 120 feet long.
Yeah. Yeah, so?
But then that reminds me, didn't Alan once ask, do sperm feel pain?
Yeah.
We're
going to try and get a hammer, won't we? And some
sperm.
more practical effects is what this show needs.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought was really fun in the Christmas show was the idea that if you aerate your wine, that's what makes it taste better.
You mean as in letting it breathe?
Yeah, so you put it in a blender and whiz it up, you get lots more air in it.
Yeah, I think this is really controversial, actually. People really believe in this thing about letting wine breathe.
So I think we should put it to the test.
Yeah, let's try it. We have some glasses.
I've got a blender.
Flash,
Probably
bring
got
the
some
wine.
Usually
somewhere.
have some.
All right, here we go. Yeah, there we go.
Amazing.
We suggested doing this on the show, but we never actually did it. Go for it.
Okay, stand back, Flash.
Okay, so I'll pour these little ones into here.
So we're saying it makes it taste better, we're not saying it makes it a health drink, right? Because it's
No.
in a blender.
Okay. It's a bit rough.
bit fizzy.
Fine. That's really done the trick.
Really?
I'm going to close my
Okay,
eyes.
I'm going to pour one in your face. Yes.
Okay, got
Sample
it.
1.
That's disgusting.
Sample 2. More or less disgusting?
Now, you see, the problem is I knew that the one that hadn't been blitzed had less in it, which was definitely the second one.
And that's why you don't put QI elves in random trials. They'll try and outwit you. Well, I think the glass
What
you
about
gave me.
by the smell? No.
This one smells more like... This smells frothy.
Well, I think inconclusive. More research.
More wine
needed.
required.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all from us. Thank you very much for watching QIXS. We will be back when QI's back, when the next episode's on, with new elves, new questions, new facts, and hopefully slightly better wine. Cheers!
Merry Christmas!
Cheers.